It would seem as though...
Hi.
Hola, chica, ¿cómo estás?
Hi. Oh my god, so great.
It's now officially Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh, because it starts in the middle.
Yeah, it starts in the middle of the month.
Damn.
So does that mean they don't get a whole month, or it goes from the middle of this one to the middle of next one?
I think it goes middle to middle, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know.
That just seems dumb to me.
Yeah, why
But
not
also,
make it the entire month of September?
My brain is very much a thing where I'm like, okay, it's 10:38. I'm going to wait until 10:45 to do this thing I need to do, because it's easier for my brain to do things in increments of time.
Well, that makes sense.
Right? So when it's like the middle of the month, I'm like, can we just start in the beginning of September?
Right. I'm sorry, either we're going to bump you out 2 more weeks or bring you back 2 weeks. But
yeah.
This is stupid.
Fucking stupid. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Good morning. This is...
Martine.
Another
episode.
This is another episode of It Would Seem As Though, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly nothing.
I'm Vesta.
I'm Annika.
And we're here.
We're back.
Mommy, she's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a morning. Let me tell you what. So our podcast is released every Wednesday.
Sure.
But we record it on Tuesday as a rule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, some crazy things happen, and we do it on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And release it later that day.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know why I released it the next day, because it's not like I do anything to it. I don't edit it. I don't do anything. You get it how we record it.
Yes, ma'am.
With flaws and all, with my mother opening doors and making... We have a little chime in our house because it's our alarm system.
Yeah.
And when it's off, it alerts you to any door being open.
Yeah, like back door.
Back door.
Yeah.
Garage door. Front door.
Yep.
Or if windows or whatever,
Yeah.
So she'll pop in, open the door, and it'll say, back door. And then she's like, I don't mean to interrupt. Too late.
My favorite, yes, was a couple weeks ago. Last week. She was pissy, and she came to the back door, opened it, didn't even come inside, and just said, I'm not interrupting, but do I need a key? Like, to get back in the house, but we're here. But I was like, ma'am, what the fuck do you think interrupting is? If you're just going to open the door and scream in here, I'm pretty sure that's interrupting.
But to me, it feels like all of those, not to be rude.
Yeah.
Not
to be racist.
But anything that those not to be's, they're always to be.
Girl, after that but.
Okay, they're always to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Good Lord. But this morning, I'm just going to say, this Tuesday morning was a hassle. Was a morning I would like to just cancel this morning and start over.
Yeah.
Or just have a redo or have a time machine or something. Because this morning, I lost my shit, screamed like a fucking banshee.
Yes, you did.
And sounded like a lunatic.
Like I heard you in my house.
I'm sure you did.
Y'all.
You probably did. I probably woke you up. I was screaming slow. Since we have transitioned to high school.
Boo.
For Miss Grace, she can't seem, because it's a shorter time, it's because she starts earlier, and I was trying to not make them get up at the crack of dawn, but it's too bad.
What time do you have them get up?
6:30.
That's an hour, bitch. And you have
to leave at 7:15 or 7:20.
Okay.
But still, now, since we're doing that, I get their breakfast together for them.
Girl,
all they have to do is get dressed, brush their teeth.
She doesn't put on makeup. She don't do her hair.
She rarely brushes her hair.
She wears gym shorts and a t-shirt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, 5 minutes.
Girl.
She goes in the bathroom for 10 minutes so she can stand and do what? I don't know.
Probably lip sync in the mirror.
Yeah, but I took out her Alexa this morning, so she didn't even have anything to sing along with.
You get no joy this morning.
Nothing.
Until you pick it up.
Well, and so everything she did, she is literally picking up her gummy vitamins and eating them in teeny bites.
I love it.
And I wanted to throw something at her. I said, just put all 4 of them in your mouth, chew them up, go.
Last time I was over here and she didn't have school yet. And she's sitting right across from me where I'm sitting right now. And she's taking her morning pills. And she's taking one at a time. And that's the conversation you and I had where I'm like, bitch, I take like 17 pills in one swallow.
Yep.
And she's all 1, 2.
Right.
Like, bitch, swallow it.
Takes the pills that she has to take with water, puts them to the back of her tongue, and then
does
a big gagging thing every time. It's like, it's one tiny little pill.
Yeah.
It's what is happening?
I don't have any.
And so then, when she finally finished her breakfast, which was a bowl of cereal.
It's really challenging.
I was like, all right, go get dressed. Oh, no, I said, go right over here, brush your teeth. Because we have to now watch her brush her teeth because she won't set a timer. She won't do what she's supposed to do. So once she finally finishes cereal, I'm like, all right, get your toothbrush. Because again, if we don't watch her brush her teeth, or at least have her in the same room, she won't set a timer. She'll just stand there and throw the toothbrush around in the top of her room, not even brush her teeth.
She uses it as like a baton, throwing it up and catching it.
Or she's singing at the top. You can't be brushing your teeth if you're singing.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're just terrible parents. And she just looks at me like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what are you talking about? What's a toothbrush? What are teeth?
And then walks as if she has bricks on her feet. And I'm like, I'm going to scream. Goes in the bathroom for 10 solid minutes, comes out and is like, what is happening? And so it just all went that way until I'm a complete lunatic and losing my mind and then going, now I have a headache from screaming.
Yeah, no, I get it. Let me tell you.
Crazy time.
There are times when your children make me want to scream.
And then...
Okay, tell me.
Well, and this is unrelated, but I took her to school. We talked all the way to school about why that can't happen. Mm-hmm. And, of course, every response was, oh, look, a squirrel. It's like, oh, look at that. Mm-hmm. Oh, that car has a bumper sticker that says, fuck Biden. I don't care.
No, that matters to me.
Be in the conversation. Anyway, when I took Parker to school, I sit in the parking lot for any number of minutes while we're waiting for the school to open, let him out. And the street in front of his school is not wide enough, really, that cars should be able to park on both sides, but they do.
Right.
And so then there's all these people trying to get their kids to school, dropped off, and they stop right in the middle of the street and let their kids out, and then nobody else can go by, and there's traffic backing up. Well, this morning, and I pull in the parking lot. I'm pulling out of the parking lot, and I see that this car, who I assumed was letting kids, is there. No one's in the truck. It's a truck. And the driver's side door is open, which means no one can go around them.
Oh.
And I'm all, what are you doing?
What in the fuck?
And then I saw that they had hit the car in front of them.
Oh my God.
And so they're going to do all of that right there. There's literally a line of traffic all the way to the end of the block and around the corner, including school buses, trying to get to the school. Because these people couldn't, can we pull into the parking lot and do this? Something.
Yeah.
So they're out of the way. No. That's the thing I've noticed, and it makes me cuckoo crazy, is everybody only thinks of themselves. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I don't care that there's a line of traffic. I don't care that these kids are going to be late. My kid's on time. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, what? How? And that was one of the things I kept saying to Grace this morning is, you can go ahead and not care what other people think of you, but when your behavior directly affects other people, you have to care about it.
Yep.
And I think that's what's one of the many things that's wrong with the world is people don't care how their behavior affects other people. As long as they get what they need or want, screw everybody else.
Agreed.
And that's how that feels to me.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that'll set you off. Because, girl, I get it. I don't want to feel like people are like, something like that, where you're not caring about what other people, how they feel about it when you are impacting them. That makes me fucking insane. That makes me want to blow up. So I get it.
Well, because it is just the basic of courtesy.
Well, and
to go, okay, you know what? I see that we're holding up traffic in two directions, by the way. We're holding up all of the traffic so nobody can get through here, nobody can get to school. How about we just move this down the road, or we pull into this park? Because there's a parking lot, lots of room in it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like, no.
Yeah.
And no, they don't even think about those kind of things.
That's
that's the part that makes me nuts.
So you dealt with that from your daughter this morning, and you dealt with it from random people trying to get into the school. And, I get it.
Yeah. So it was a little cuckoo crazy this morning.
Yeah. No, I mean, girl, I get it. That would set me right the fuck off. Yeah. So I'm with you, honey.
Yeah.
Honey, oh honey. I know, well, because yesterday they came over, painting a wall in my bathroom, and so Grace is helping me paint it, and she did fine. She's so funny because I have this really sturdy, brand new top of the line step ladder. We got it as a gift. Well, a friend was moving and was like, "I'm not taking this. Take it." It's really nice. Grace stood on it and I tried to shake it. It doesn't budge. It doesn't move. Nothing happens. Right? It's very balanced. Very nice. She goes up a step and she's like, "Okay," and I need her to paint above a door. And your daughter's 4'7". So I'm like,
all right, she is 5 foot even.
Oh my God, so tall. So I was like, no, let's do another step up. And so she's like, ooh, I don't, girl, I need you to step up. So she did. And then she's all, and Gavin's in front of her, that big ass boy. And I'm behind her. So I'm like, you're not going to fall, babe.
Someone's going to catch you.
We got you.
Fall. Yes.
And then I was like, and so she's reaching on her tippy toes. I'm like, it is more dangerous for you to be on your tippy toes on a step ladder than just step on the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can step here. It doesn't say do not step. There's a little railing, all that. And she's all, no, I can't. She's like, but look, I can reach just fine. And she can reach like half the wall. And I'm all, you're doing great. And it's so funny because she's so heavy-handed with painting, using a little tiny cute roller. And she just like, the equivalent, she didn't do this, but the equivalent of like just dipping it into the paint can so it's like dripping.
Right.
And then she's painting the wall and it's just like runny and just blah. I'm all, yeah, you're doing great. Let me help you. And I'm like helping her like move her hand. Like, we're just going to even it out just a little bit because right now I'll have no more paint for the rest of my wall.
Because you've painted 6 inches of wall with a whole can of paint.
Yeah. And then she'll like get that 2 steps up and not take the top step, and then she can't reach, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so tiny. I'm just like so tiny. Can you believe how tiny I am? And I'm all, listen here, you little bitch. Step up. One more time. Just one more step. But she's like, I think I'm doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Jesus Christ.
I think I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
I love that baby girl.
It's very
She
subjective.
is completely clueless.
Oh, she's from the show Clueless Girl. She plays every cast member in that. She's every character. She is every one of them. Together.
She's just
in different wigs,
right.
Bitch. It's your daughter.
Right. There you go. Walking around going, I don't know how anything works or how I impact any of the rest of the world.
Well, and then Parker's, like, because he's going to help me paint the wall today. I had to let it dry. He's going to help me do the second coat today. And so he's playing video games. Fine. And the game isn't challenging, right? So, but in its open world, you can run around and do all the things, but he was getting frustrated. And a lot of it, I think, is like reading comprehension. Because there's a lot of things that pop up or people talk to him. But see, he started to get, he was like, well, I'm just really frustrated. He started to get like real whiny and high-pitched. And I said, ask for help, you know? Or just run around and do stuff. Like, that's what you do anyway. It's not like you have to follow any rule, you know? And I was like, but we're not going to whine about it. Like, we're having a good time. We're not going to start that. We can't start that because then you are not going to play video games in my house anymore, you know? And so then, like, Gavin and I coached him through some moments and he was fine. But I was like, don't turn into, like, like, I don't know what you're saying.
No.
And stop it.
Once the voice reaches whine, I can no longer listen.
No. It's
There's 2 things that I cannot or will not listen to is when people whine at me or when people yell at me. Because if you're yelling at me, I have stopped listening.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Because now it's like fight or flight, and I feel like running out the
I'm
door.
going to punch you in the fucking throat.
Right. Well, I have the opposite. I just want to leave.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, because I hate being yelled at. It makes me feel unsafe.
Oh, no, I get that.
I mean, it's my children that's different, but grown folk yelling at me.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was watching this video yesterday, or not video, excuse me, commercial, which I think was for like Peloton or something. And it's all these people going, you know, I do this and I do that, and it's all like all their running adventures, even though they're on a Peloton, but you're watching a little screen that like you're running in
like a forest.
You know, yeah, whatever. And then there's this woman who's clearly the trainer, the beautiful black woman, who turns around, she's screaming, you know, to get... And I'm just thinking, that wouldn't motivate me at all. I'd be going, no. Get up now and run. No.
Absolutely not. Thank you for trying.
That's a hard pass. Thanks for asking, but...
Stupid bitch better never yell at me again.
I'm out.
I know. It is funny. Whining. People yelling at me, I mean, again, I've dealt with that a lot in my life. I don't like it. And especially in an environment that's comfortable, if someone starts yelling, I, again, need to be like, I have to go home. Because this is too reminiscent of a horrible childhood, so I gotta go. But it's whining. Whining makes me... Especially when I feel like it's manipulating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes me, like, grit my teeth and I grimace and I'm, like, vibrating and one eye closes and steam comes out my ears. My head spins around. It has such, like, a visceral fucking effect on me. Like, the whining when it's unnecessary. You know, I think all whining is unnecessary. If you have to complain because something's hard or you hate it, then fucking complain. But when you go that... I'm all... Bitch, I'm not a yodeler. Like, I don't know what you just said in yodelese. So I'm going to need you to just...
I'm going to just speak normal words.
And they don't even cry. It's the whole... and, like, the sad I'm crying face, but no tears.
Right.
Ma'am... Sir.
This is my sad face.
I know. It's one of those things that I have to go lay down now because whining just takes it out of me, bitch.
Right.
I either have to fight someone or go to bed. Like, one
those
or the other.
Those seem like fair options.
Yeah.
To leave, fight someone, go to bed.
Yeah. Restrain me because I'm about to turn.
Right.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Put you in one of those little Hannibal Lecter things where you're on a dolly.
And I'm like trying to bite your face off. Yeah. I heard whining.
Well, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Oh, we have
Oh my God, an
email.
An email.
We have an email from my good friend Rose.
Oh,
I love Rose. Hey, you know what, Rose? I'm going to give her a shout out anyway because Rose beat cancer.
Yes,
she
did. She beat it to
kicked
death.
cancer's ass, and
Yes,
so I'm very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Glad Rose is still with us in the world because she's awesome. So she and her wife Jody come see me like every 6 weeks to get their hairs cut. It really is much more like we're having a little party while I'm cutting because we're always just laughing and cutting up the whole time they're there, and it's really one of the highlights of my month when they come in because we spend the entire time just being stupid and laughing.
They're great, yeah.
And I love that. So she says, love you two so very much. Of course you do, because we're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoyed the Am I the Asshole segment. I watch on the YouTube Smash Crew do the same thing as you both. But you two surpassed them by a mile.
Oh.
Thank you, Rose. Well, thank you, Rose. We love the emails, and we love you, and...
Yeah.
And you're awesome.
And you're the best.
Yeah, she's one of those people that had the effect of when she had the chemo and lost all her hair grew back curly. She had this fine straight hair and it grew back curly.
I think one of the last times I was at your shop was when they were in and I think you shaved all her hair off.
Oh yeah,
that was the last time I saw them. Yeah. That's so cool.
And so now she's got a full head of curly hair.
Yeah, she does.
Now, the concern is, will the curls stay? Or is it going to be like baby curls that once you've cut them out, they're gone and you go back to your normal hair? A lot of people, and I actually can tell you the science behind this, even though I'm not a scientist.
Oh my God, she's a scientist.
When you have chemotherapy, and your hair all falls out, the chemotherapy actually, it directly affects the hair follicles.
Interesting.
Because chemotherapy attacks the fastest growing things in your body, which is why people get sick, because it attacks your stomach lining, because that is one of the fastest growing things in your body, because it replaces itself constantly.
Interesting. Okay.
And then your skin, and your hair, and your nails, and so it actually has the ability to change the shape of your hair follicles.
Oh,
which is what changes the way your hair grows out.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Crazy?
Yeah, I had no idea, bitch. That's crazy. Science. Are you a scientist?
I am a scientist.
Oh my God.
And that is also why a lot of people, when they're getting chemotherapy, their skin looks awful. It looks kind of that grayish.
Yeah.
Because that chemotherapy is directly attacking. Because cancer is a very rapid growth.
Because you're saying chemo attacks the things that regenerate.
The fastest.
Okay.
Because cancer is a very fast growing cell.
Yeah.
Right? And so chemotherapy is like, I'm just attacking all the fast-growing things because one of them's cancer.
Yeah.
Well, but unfortunately, it does some other terrible things on the way. It's just poison.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm poisoning all the things that do this particular action.
Yeah.
Not good.
That's
but
scary.
It does its job in the end. That's so hopefully.
Look at you being so smart. I had no idea. I was just like, you take some poison and hopefully you don't die from it. Like,
kind of.
Yeah, right? Like, because... There's a point when people have cancer and illness where if they take chemo, it'll just kill them, right? Because it is a poison, and their body's already
yeah. One of my former friend is probably too strong a word. Acquaintances, who we kind of we saw each other like when I was traveling the circuit, being Empress and stuff. He had a form of cancer that was kind of common with people who had AIDS, and his doctor was like, you can either just let it go or you can get treatment for it.
Yeah.
If you get treatment for it, all it's going to do is extend your life. It's not going to save your life, but it will extend your life. But the life that you have extended now is going to be kind of miserable because you have chemo.
Yeah.
And you'll be sick and whatever. I personally would have said, let's just live out what we've got without puking every day.
Yeah.
And he chose to have treatment. And the treatment, I think, was worse than the disease because it made him so sick.
Okay.
And it was just like, no, not worth it. Because in the end, and this was before any of the drugs that were having such amazing effects on people with HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
It was when it was like, there was no turning it around.
Yeah.
There was a little maybe slowing it down if you were lucky, but there was no turning it around.
I know.
And so that's one of those things. I mean, obviously it's a different choice for everybody.
Yeah.
But my choice would certainly be, I don't want to extend my life and be sick the whole time.
No, that's miserable.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the whole idea, in some TV and books and movies are doing it now where it's like, oh yeah, you can live forever in like some fantasy.
Yeah.
This person can live forever, but their body can't. So their body, as it gets older, starts to get older, right?
Yeah.
But, they can live forever. So they're never going to die, but they're just going to get more and more decrepit.
Oh, no.
Miserable, girl.
No, thank you. Well, and
me.
the idea really of immortal life or immortality sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Because if you're the only one, I mean, if everybody that you loved was immortal, maybe.
Sure.
But I'm sorry, I'm bored with people in the however 100 years later. I'm gonna be like, I have nothing to say to you.
I'm already too delicate to live a mortal life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was immortal and had to see everyone I know die, see the world die faster, see all the destruction and war and mayhem, no. None of that is worth it to me.
No.
And you become very jaded. Like, because, I've read a lot of mythology. I like to take the perspective of the gods. Gods don't give a shit about what you're doing with your life or how they treated you because they don't understand the concept of mortality.
Right.
They are never going to die. So it's kind of, on the one hand, I feel like gods would be kind of jealous. Do you know what I mean? Like, things matter. Love matters. Life matters. Things you do matter because we die. But if you never die, then what really fucking matters? You know what I mean?
It makes me think of when I was watching The Good Place, and Kristen Bell's character is trying to explain to Ted Danson's character, who is immortal,
Right.
What it's like to be human. And he, of course, doesn't get it because he's never been human. He's just always been around. And she goes, human beings are always just a little bit sad because they know that their time here is limited. So that's always kind of in their mind at some point. It's like, well, I have an expiration date.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never thought of it that way, but it is true.
Yeah, right?
Because that's why so many people are like, I need to live while I'm here because you never know how... Well, you never do.
No.
But we do know it will come to an end. So having it never come to an end, I just think it would be boring.
Mm-hmm. And just heartbreaking.
But then I also think about, I was listening to Jinx Monsoon one day talking about What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And how... and it was about their sexuality. Mm-hmm. About how, you've been around for millennia.
Yeah.
You are no longer tied to any social norms.
No.
So if you're still able to have sex, in this particular thing, vampires can have sex, whatever. It's like, you're not going to care that this is, taboo or this is this or that. It's like,
no,
you're going to be like, yeah, I'll give that a try.
If you live long enough, nobody has a sexuality. Everyone just becomes sexual. You know what I mean?
Well, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you didn't care about... Because obviously, they're vampires, so they're drinking people's blood and killing them. So social norms have gone out the window.
Love that. Mm-hmm.
So whether you have the gay sex or the straight sex, there's no... That doesn't matter. It doesn't even make sense that it would matter.
Yeah. Well,
but I had never thought of it that way.
Right.
That you live hundreds of years and see the world in every possibility. Mm-hmm. You're like, what? These rules are dumb.
So Alfred Kinsey, the Kinsey scale?
Yeah.
Okay, so initially... Well, a lot of his research... So he was a sexologist, and his whole idea was that, sexuality is a spectrum.
Yes.
Closer to homosexual, closer to heterosexual, but everyone falls somewhere on it, right? And no one is, often 100% of either.
Right.
And he used to classify it as nobody is homosexual or heterosexual, but there are homosexual acts and heterosexual acts.
Okay.
And I was like, that makes sense. Because again, specifically in the world, in Western culture, in America, white people, we like to put people in boxes. Like, when we ask people, what are you? Like, your race? People say mixed race. No, but what are you? Where's your family from? Like, we need to know definite information to be able to be like, okay,
Where
so
you look different.
You're black, you're whatever. You're gay, you're straight, you're whatever. Like, and so putting it in the frame of like, well, you're not that. You just had an experience that was homosexual, or you had the experience that was heterosexual.
Right.
I also think that goes hand in hand with the whole idea of like falling in love with a person opposed to a gender.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is a really interesting and kind of important way to look at sexuality and gender. It's not, you don't have to be straight because everyone told you to be straight. You don't have to like the opposite sex because of that. Like, you can like both. You don't need to label yourself. You don't need to be like, I'm this. Like, stop doing that. We teach...
I'm a howler monkey.
We teach children that because it's easy to explain the world when you've divided it into categories.
Yeah.
But as an adult, all of us use critical thinking skills. You know what I mean? You don't always have to be what the world tells you to be.
Right.
Full stop.
Right.
Full stop.
Right. I know that as a younger person, I would have been I absolutely am only attracted to men, so therefore I'm straight.
Yeah.
I only want to have...
Yeah.
Well, and that's, factually, I am attracted to men.
Same.
Even though most of them are garbage, but I am attracted to men.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But there are moments where I think there are things about other people I'm like, I find that very attractive, but I'm not attracted to it.
Like, not a
But
sexual
then,
attraction.
What I realized is what I'm attracted to is a strong masculine energy.
Yeah.
And there have been women where I'm like, well, yeah, I could,
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just that kind of energy.
Yeah. Well, and women are way better at, like, we could look at a woman and be like, oh my God, she is so sexy, she is so hot, she's so beautiful, her body looks right, whatever. But we're not sexually attracted to her. We don't feel that desire. Right. I feel like you're so beautiful, and I'll tell you that you're a hot babe all the time. And that's something that women can do. Men often are, I don't know if another man's attractive. Like, you're not dumb.
Yeah, you're not blind.
That's always my pushback. Like, you can't look at your friend and tell me if he's a handsome man or not. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't expect you to go, yeah, he's got a nice ass.
Let me go.
But you can look at somebody and say, no, they're very attractive.
Yeah, because you're not stupid or blind. Well, you're probably stupid.
Might be.
You're probably stupid and blind.
But, could be.
Yeah, I just think
I've always thought that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because women and, and gay people.
Yeah.
Will be like, oh yeah, they're good looking. Oh my God, that person's gorgeous. Whatever, and not think a thing of it. It's straight men.
Yep. Well, because lesbians will even tell you if a man is attractive.
Sure.
A gay man will tell you if a woman's attractive.
Yes.
But straight men are like, nor.
No, I can only talk about women.
Does it got a vagina?
Right.
Then I don't know.
Yep. Right. I can't possibly know.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that was very funny.
It's just silly.
I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, I can look at someone. Gal Gadot.
Oh, and be like, Gal lady. Not Gal.
Lady. Mrs. Gal lady. And go, that's a beautiful woman.
Be stunning.
I can look at Lupita Nyong'o and go, okay,
gorgeous.
That's not even right to be that gorgeous.
No, it's stupid and offensive, but I get it.
I'm like, what business are you having that beautiful?
Well, and like also, because America is such a weird duality of like very prudish and overly sexual.
Yes.
Like, I've watched Victoria's Secret fashion shows. I've seen lots of things where women are mostly naked or in very sexual outfits. Yeah. Like, yeah, she looks real hot. But that's the extent of it. She looks hot. I don't care. I'm not like fantasizing about being with said woman. Do you know what I mean? Right.
Well, and what's interesting to me is like specifically, and I'm going to go specifically with Victoria's Secret. Mm-hmm. I have watched the fashion, like maybe one.
Yeah.
And I think, whatever. Yeah, and they're usually, for my idea for the way, they're usually too thin.
Yeah, agreed.
And too pale.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, but like a Heidi Klum in her heyday is like not, it's like a typical blonde, thin, yawn.
Mm-hmm. I feel like after the 90s, modeling became very just like,
I'm sorry, but you have to have
cocaine
some curves,
chic. Yeah.
Right. Well, it was heroin chic for a long
chic,
time.
Yeah, because of Kate Moss. Thanks, Kate Moss, you hammerhead shark-looking bitch. Her eyes are on opposite sides of her head. She never misses a beat, bitch. She can see 360 degrees. You want to know what I'm saying?
Correct. Did you know she's the one who coined the phrase, nothing tastes as good as thin feels?
That doesn't surprise me.
I did not know that.
She is literally the size of a gnome, and she's as thin as a Barbie doll. So, like, I get it. They just zoomed in real close on her. She's literally 12 inches tall walking down the runway, and everyone's like, oh my God.
So she is a Barbie doll.
Yeah, Kate, that fit me. No, bitch, you're too fat. She's talking to, like, the thinnest person alive.
Does this make my spine look fat?
I know. Can I get my spine lipo?
You can see my bones, and that makes me look fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That bitch. I know. And it's funny because, when I went to school for fashion, I was really into fashion for quite some time. Kate Moss was never the person that I was like, oh my God, she's literally so beautiful. I just remember thinking she was kind of boring and white. And again, what happened? Why her eyes? She's Sid the Sloth from Ice Age. Like, I don't understand. I've never heard her speak, so maybe she talks like this. I'm not really sure.
She does not.
But
as a matter of fact, she doesn't. I have heard her speak.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say anything interesting, but I have heard her speak.
The whole, like, wife beater, tank top, low rise, hip hugging kind of jean, that's Kate Moss to me. And I'm like, none of that is, I just don't like it. I don't know her. I don't care about her at all. But, like, her aesthetic is not anything.
I was like, because you know Kate listens, and so she's going to be very
Oh, my
mad.
God. Come fight me, you fucking whore.
So, listen. The last 2 weeks, we were doing unsolicited advice, like Am I the Asshole and Dear Abby and stuff.
Yeah.
And just for funsies, we thought we would do it one more week and then get back to having real topics.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun, and we're having fun, and apparently people are having fun listening to it.
And, you know, I feel like it is unsolicited advice, but it's not stuff we're thinking of. We're reading other people's stories and being like, no, your mom's a bitch, or no, break up with your husband. Like, we're just telling you to ruin your life.
Right.
Seems
fair.
Yeah. So we're going to start this one. I don't remember what the one was last week. I can't find it. But this one was also fucking great to me. So we're going to start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister her son is only special to her?
Oh, hang on. The one last week was, am I the asshole for thinking my sister doesn't know what she's talking about? Okay. It was something like that. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll try and find it, but this one
So I'm sorry, repeat it because I now just start talking and forgot what you said.
That's okay.
Because that is my way, and I'm trying to do better with that.
Are you?
I am.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister her son is only special to her?
Well, probably, but go ahead.
I, female 26, have 3 older siblings. This is about my older sister, quote unquote, Abby, who is 37. Abby has a son who's 5, and I have a daughter who's 1. Abby dealt with years of fertility issues and probably had 10 plus miscarriages. Poor Abby. Then she had her son, and of course he was Abby's miracle rainbow baby, and we're all so happy for her. But then it leads to Abby spoiling her son and letting him get away with everything because he's a miracle and he's special. Everyone has bit their tongue when it comes to her son because of that. On Saturday, I had my daughter's first birthday party. It was mostly family, and a few of my close friends were invited. I invited Abby and her son because everyone else in our family was invited, so I felt I would feel bad for excluding.
Sure.
We had different activities for the kids to do. Abby's son didn't like any of them. He was upset none of the presents were for him. Oh. He didn't want to eat any of the food we had. He then decided to try and push the cake off the table because apparently he was mad the cake wasn't his. I got super upset at Abby for her allowing her son to act that way. She wanted to say that her son is special. I said her son is only special to her, which is understandable. But to everyone else, he's a spoiled brat, which shouldn't be overlooked because he was your special miracle baby. Abby called me a bitch and left crying. A few family members have since called me an AH.
An asshole.
Oh, because I've never dealt with a miscarriage, so I don't understand how painful it is for Abby to deal with years of that before her son. It's not that I didn't realize her son is special to her, but it doesn't give the excuse for Abby to allow him to act like a spoiled brat. I don't think you're an asshole.
Not even a little bit.
I think fuck your sister.
I think that, saying your child's only special to you, maybe that wasn't the way to phrase it, but at that moment when your child is ruining another child's birthday party because they're a spoiled little beast, I probably would say something not nice too, or I would just say, either you get your child under control or you leave my house. This is my little baby girl's birthday, and your kid's ruining it.
Yeah, and to say, like, none of the presents are for me, and I don't want to do any of the activities, and I don't want, the cake isn't for me, so I'm going to ruin it. Like, that, to me, no. I would tell my sister to get the fuck out. I'd be like, we're going to try again later, but take your son and leave. Because this is unacceptable. You're ruining it for my child. You're ruining it for everyone else here.
Now, granted, my 1-year-old is not going to remember their birthday, but I will.
And we can't let that shit continue, I guess.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because he's 5. Her son is 5.
And just going to get worse.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but if you... And now, I'm going to say, because my son, as you well know... on other people's special events when it's not about... Although he's much better now.
Much, much better. Yes.
But it was like... Oh, this day's not about me? Well, I'm going to fucking ruin your day. And it was like, oh, but you're not. You're going to go somewhere else. You're going to go to your room.
And he used to do it for everything.
Well, the last one was your birthday.
Yeah.
A few years ago when he was just being a total asshole. And it's like, go away.
Yep.
This is not your day. This is not your time.
Yeah.
You need to go away. Go to your room. Yep. Go to your playroom. Go outside. Go do something.
Yep.
But you're not going to ruin your sister's birthday because it's not about you.
I know. And that was really what it was for Parker, too. Was it just wasn't about him. He wasn't the center. And that happened so much when he was little. I would feel, though, it would even happen... There was a Christmas. He wanted to play a game. some video game and we were looking for it, but you're like, clean up first. And he's like losing his cool because of it.
Yeah.
And it was just like every holiday that mattered to anybody he would shit on. So I feel like that is very similar, right?
Right.
And I this is what I have to say to parents. Your child might be special. But to most people, especially people who don't have children or people who deal with a lot of children like teachers, your child is special to you.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be like, oh my God, because you had so many issues with fertility, your child is the most special. No, nobody will ever feel that way. Maybe your mother, right?
Yeah.
But like, that is it. And for you to expect other people to like bow down and let your child act like an asshole because you had a miracle baby, that is some weird, fucked up narcissism bullshit. Like,
right.
Who cares? It's great you had a baby. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Yes.
But also,
Congratulations.
that doesn't get to dictate the rest of everyone else's life because you had a baby and it's your miracle baby. Congrats.
No.
Congrats. No. But, like, your baby isn't necessarily overwhelmingly special to everybody. And,
right.
And that's something you have to deal with. Like, not everyone cares about you, right? That's something you have to realize is, you know, a lot of people have anxiety doing things because they have a fear that people are looking at them or people are caring what they're doing. Nobody fucking cares about you.
No.
Nobody cares how you drive, what you're learning, what you're doing. They might, you know, people might say something in passing or say some rude remark or whatever, but nobody genuinely cares. They'll see you trying to learn to ride a bike and laugh about it in a second, and 5 minutes later, you'll be forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody cares. And so I think trying to push the narrative that your son is just so special and everyone should see it that way, I wouldn't invite you kind of anywhere anymore.
No. No. You know, but as you were saying, nobody cares if you're learning to ride a bicycle and they're going to laugh. It made me think of, do you remember that time we were in Astoria and this little kid was spinning around his yard on a big wheel and he flipped his big wheel and we had our windows down. We all laughed. And I was like, I didn't even think he would be able to hear us, but he did. And he's all, it's not funny. You're on a big wheel, so you are so close to the ground with 3 wheels and you flipped it. It's funny. Sorry, kid, but it's funny. All right, you got one for me to read?
Yeah, I'll read this one about my sister. Oh, it's long, but...
Yeah, I know how to read, so it's all right.
What's good? I don't know. You grew up in the country.
I did, but the same country you grew up in.
Fuck you, bitch.
But then again, you got secondary education, so you're much smarter than me. All right, am I the asshole for telling my sister she needs therapy for her unrealistic expectations? I haven't even read the letter yet. I'm going to say you are not the asshole. My sister Nora, 40, married Aiden, 42, 5 years ago.
Okay.
Aiden was a widower with 2 kids when they met. Okay. His daughter is now 14 and his son is 13. Nora and Aiden had their daughter 5 months ago. Well, congratulations, Nora and Aiden. Aiden and his late wife were childhood sweethearts and their families were very close friends. This did not change after his late wife's death. They often get together and celebrate holidays or just to spend time together. Nora was made aware of this when she started dating Aiden.
So what's the problem?
So right there, I'm going to say, if you knew it going in, you can't complain about it now.
Why are you mad?
She was also told that would never change. Aiden said the families have become almost like one big family over the years, and they would never exclude others.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, people are still the family of those children.
Yeah.
So whatever. Nora confided in me that when she married Aiden, that it was awkward seeing photos of his late wife at different ILs?
In-laws.
Different in-laws' houses. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just not hip with the lingo.
No, I get it.
Aiden's parents have a couple from when Aiden and his late wife were kids, and some from when they were married and had kids.
Okay.
Aiden's sister has childhood photos and adult photos of her and her late sister-in-law because they were best friends as kids. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Nora said it felt like a message that they were sending her. Bitch, it has nothing to do with you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes, they all put out photos in their house.
Like, get rid of this
send
Nora
you a
bitch.
message, Nora.
Fucking Nora.
Lord. I said they clearly loved Aiden's late wife, and it was likely nothing to do with her. But some people keep photos of late loved ones up, and some take them down. I suggested to her that she should speak to a therapist because they were unlikely to remove traces of Aiden's late wife from their homes and lives, and she might need some professional help learning to accept that.
Yes!
Absolutely.
I'm with you, girl.
She mentioned a few times over the 5-year marriage that she felt like Aiden's in-laws late wife's parents, did not embrace her as much as Aiden's family did, and how much it bothered her.
Well, do they need to embrace you?
Right. She brought up a lot that the kids always referred to her as a step and shot her down hard when she suggested they could call her mom. Well, she's not their mom.
Well, you're not their mother, first of all, and their mom died, and they're 13 and 14. Like, shut up.
Yeah. It was after Nora's daughter was born that she left me shocked. Oh, God, now what? She and Aiden decorated the baby's room very late, last month, actually. And I had wondered why, because she was looking at all the inspiration boards while pregnant. It was 2 weeks ago when she came over and started complaining that Aiden's in-laws had gifted the nursery decorations for their grandchildren. And she had... that they had gifted decorations for their grandchildren. Got it. And she had held out waiting for them to do the same for her daughter. But she's not their grandchild.
Oh my God.
She then complained that they were not treating her daughter like their grandchild and how they shouldn't be all just one big happy family if that does not include her and her daughter fully. She said that if they want to stick around, they should treat her daughter as if the same as they do their other grandchildren. She said it must be their lack of treating her the same that her stepkids... As her stepkids saying she's a half-sister and she's not saying she's a sister. It was after this I suggested my sister needed therapy because her expectations were so unrealistic that she had left me stunned.
Yeah.
My sister said I should be on her side, and telling her she needs therapy is saying she's wrong. Well, she is wrong.
I want you to know she's wrong. I also want you to know that I hate that bullshit. Listen, it depends on who it's. If it's you or her husband or Gavin or whatever, and you guys are acting a fool, I've been like, you're acting a fool. But I think the whole ideology of being like, well, you need to side with me because we're related. No. If you're acting like a dumb bitch, I would tell you you're acting like a dumb bitch.
I would hope.
Yeah, but the ideology of being like, oh, well, you need to side with your mother, father, brother, sister, whatever, because they are your brother, father, brother, sister.
Yeah.
Stupid. That means nothing. And talking to families or people who don't even like their families, who gives a fuck? Like,
but let's also break it down differently. So she has her family,
yep,
and she has her husband's family.
Yep.
But she's mad that the family of the deceased wife
isn't treating her
yep, the same as they would have treated their own daughter.
Yep.
Well, of course they're not. You're not their daughter.
No.
You're the lady who took her place. You're the lady who married her widow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, cool if they're being nice to you, but why would they supply all the decorations for the nursery for your baby?
Doesn't make any sense.
If your parents did, or Aiden's parents did, sure, that makes sense. But these other people, why should they? And I'm sorry, but these kids shouldn't call you mom. Mm-hmm. You're not their mom.
Yeah. And if
they were comfortable with it and they were like, yeah, sure, we'll call you mom.
Do it. Yeah.
But especially when a parent dies, you then, as replacing them, it feels like you're trying to replace them in their hearts and like what that person meant to them because they're no longer there. If she had just moved out and said, fuck y'all, I don't want to be a mom anymore. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Replace her because she was not a good mom.
Sure.
But their mom died.
Their mom fucking died.
It's hard enough to try and keep that memory alive and to be part of that than to have somebody be like, well, I'm your mom now. Well, you're not. I am your mother figure now.
Yeah.
It's like when we had foster boys and they're like, what are we supposed to call you? And I was like, Vesta.
My name.
Call me by my name. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can come up with some sort of nickname. As long as it's not offensive, I don't care. Madre. But since I'm not your mother and I'm not trying to take the place of your mother.
Frau.
Well, and one of the boys just called me Big V.
I love that. That's like...
Which sounds like he's talking about a vagina, but whatever.
To me, it sounds like you're a mob boss, bitch. I love it.
I'm the Big V.
Big V. Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved that. I thought it was great.
This one is also kind of long.
Okay.
But I love it because of what the title is, and I have a stepmother.
Yeah.
It says, am I the asshole for telling my stepmother that by her standards, I'm better than her?
Oh. Is this about your stepmother?
I know, right? It sounds weird, and I may be very well the asshole, but I'm not sure I regret it even so. Background. My mom died when I was 4. My dad remarried when I was 7. We'll call my stepmom Sheila.
Okay, that's a good name for a stepmom.
Sheila is not the personification of a trad wife, meaning traditional wife trope. And while she's not quiverful moment... What? And while she's not quiverful movement... Do you know what quiverful is?
No. You keep reading, I'll look it up.
Okay. While she's not quiverful movement, she comes from a similar background. Okay. Basically, her entire self-worth is wrapped up in how many kids she has and how nice her house is kept. She has a lot of disdain for quote-unquote career women, especially unmarried childless ones. Needless to say, I do not like her or agree with Sheila. And
Oh, okay. I'm going to pause you for a second. It is a Christian theological position that sees large families as a blessing from God and encourages procreation.
Ew. Okay. So
and abstaining from all forms of birth control.
Right. So her stepmom here wants to have 1 million children and have her house kept.
Oh, quiverful. Like a quiver full of arrows.
Yeah. Because you can
it's
shoot them
based
out.
on Psalm 127, which says, like arrows in the hands of a warrior, are sons born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them.
Gross.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want my quiver full of babies. That's weird.
Keep your kids away from my quiver. Needless to say, I do not like or agree with Sheila, and I have no idea what my dad sees in her. My mom was the complete opposite. My teenage years were one long constant argument because 1, I've refused numerous times to be adopted by Sheila, and 2, I have 6 half-siblings, and I refuse to help her raise them. And 3, I'm pretty much everything Sheila disapproves of. My dad tried to mediate as best as he could, but it was a difficult situation. Needless to say, I do not go home often. I keep in contact with my dad, but I ignore anything from Sheila unless it's an emergency. I completed my surgical residency not long ago, so I took some time off for vacation and a quick visit with my dad before I really get stuck into my practice. I agreed to come to the house for a cookout, knowing that I would probably be annoyed, but it was something nice my dad wanted to do for me. Now, I don't have children or a partner. I love my career and I like being solo. Still, when I was an undergrad, I figured if I'm not going to use my eggs, someone might as well get some use out of them.
Sure.
So I did 3 rounds of egg donations and put the money towards med school. Brilliant.
I don't really call it donation because you're selling them.
You're selling them, yeah. As a result, last report, I have 8 biological offspring. Good for you, girl. Sheila decided to start her usual, when are you going to settle down nonsense, and I was set to ignore her as usual. But then she said, don't think you're better because you have money. A woman's worth is in her home and children. I said, well, that would mean I'm still better than you because I have more bio children than you do, a nice home, and a successful career.
Bam!
She just stared at me for a minute and left. She didn't come back outside while I was there. My dad called later to ask what happened and said that even though she shouldn't have started this conversation in the first place, it was a low blow. She couldn't have more children after the last one, and she was very upset to be reminded of that. Plus, she has always thought that I looked down on her.
Well,
I do, but not, but not because of her lifestyle choice. More so because she's so judgmental about it herself. Anyway, my dad wants me to apologize. A couple of the older half-siblings have sent me a radioactive text about it. I think she walked into that one. But given her fertility issues and knowing how much self-concept she was wrapped up in a big family, it might have been a little over the line. Am I the asshole? No.
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 No. Well, and
No.
you didn't know she had fertility issues when you said it.
No, but I also...
And that's not even the point. No. She's judging you because your self-worth... because she told you a woman's worth is the children she has.
In her home and in her children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't have children, you're not worth anything?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of bullshit is that? And that is such archaic thinking.
Yep.
You know, and so, no.
No.
And the fact that, well, she's produced 8 children.
Listen to me. I want you to know that when people who have like a very doctrine morality, so like Christians or people who are in a faith, and then they say shit based on their religion or their belief, right? Like, well, when are you going to have children? When are you going to settle down? Like, a woman's worth isn't in her career, it's in her children, right?
Right.
When they say shit like that and they're judging you and they're coming at you, they then act like the victims when you come back at them.
Yes.
And I want you to know, always come back at them. always shock the shit out of them, make them feel stupid, because it is fucking ignorant to live in this country that so many people who have Christian, traditional, theological beliefs, we live in a land of free and opportunity, yet you're gonna fucking judge other people based on what they decide to do with their bodies or with their lives. But when they say when they say anything to you about how you're living your life, then you're the victim. It is bullshit and ignorant to me. It's just a cop-out, and it's just a reason for adults to be whiny. And going back to whining,
right.
I would rather punch her in the fucking throat. Because, and in that ideology, anytime you're putting your belief system on another person, I hope that person tells you to go fuck yourself. Or, like, calls you a cunt or something. So you can, like, shit your pants in front of her and be like, what did you say to me? How dare you? The Lord loves me. Like, the Lord loves you, but you're still a cunt.
Yeah. Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you're an asshole.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about this. Like, I don't...
Well, first of all, my issue would be in you telling anybody else what they should do
Yes.
with their lives, their children, their
Number
family.
one.
You know, it's like... A lot of people, can't have babies.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want babies.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want marriage.
Yeah.
And it's not for you to say.
No.
You know, if you said, I really want you to stop killing people or, you know, stop robbing banks, that's where you can make a moral judgment. Yeah. But if you're like, you need to have babies, fuck you. Mm-hmm. What if I don't want babies? What if I know in my heart that I just would be a terrible mom and I just don't want them? Or what if I'm just like, I don't have any of that need or that want to produce children and then to try and raise children and to pay for children and to pay for college. You know, people, and that's the whole thing with the pro-life nonsense. It's like, you are not pro-life. You are pro-birth.
That's it.
Big difference. Mm-hmm. You don't want to spend a dime to get that child healthy, educated, fed, nothing. None of it. And you don't care what happens to them after they're born.
No, as long as they're born.
Yep. Because that little clump of cells that isn't even a human yet.
No.
You know, it's like, that's what you care about? Mm-hmm.
No.
Care about your own shit. Care about your own life. Care about what you're doing. Care about how you raised your children. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, before you decide to go, you know, into someone else's house, clean up your own.
Ma'am, I also feel like, yes, I get feeling bad because she has fertility issues. Well, if she has issues in fertility and then she decides to make comments about your life and what you're doing, I don't think it fucking matters. No. If she has fertility issues, she has fertility issues. That doesn't give her a right to say shitty...
But she had 6 children.
Right. But it doesn't give her a right to say shitty things to anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you come back and said, well, I have more children than you, right? And a better house and a career... Bitch, she opened that.
Yeah, she did. She kicked that door open.
She said, spit in my face.
You walked through it.
Yeah, girl. She said, tell me I'm trash, you know? And she did. She lit her on fire. And I think, bye. That's how I would feel.
Bye, Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila, fuck off, hoe. Mm-hmm, that's how I feel. Mm. And I don't think you're the asshole, girl. I think your stepmom's an ugly whore.
Yeah.
Anyway. Was there more? How much more time do we have?
Time.
Okay. You can... It's going to scroll. You can...
Oh, okay.
I'm going to let you pick it.
Oh, okay.
Because how I... You know what? While you're picking, I just feel that...
I don't even know what this is about.
Oh my God, what does it say?
It says, am I the asshole for calling my daughter-in-law a fucking hypocrite and leaving without her?
No, I love it.
I need to know what happened. But the internet has already deemed her not the asshole.
Love it.
My daughter-in-law has a lot of boundaries. Boundaries are great.
We love boundaries.
She has high-functioning autism. All right.
Okay.
The first day I met her, she gave me a list of everything that I can't do around her. Oh. And if I did, she will leave or tell me off. Okay. Some of the stuff makes sense. Other shit just seems like a power move. There are a lot of things, but one of them is no matter what you have to be on, no matter what you have to be on time. If not, she will let you... What? She will not let you in or leave without you. All right. Well,
okay.
All right. On their wedding day, me and my spouse were late due to a large crash in the city. We sat in the back. When we came in, everyone knew what happened since multiple people were affected. Mm-hmm. She chews up... What? She chews up?
Choose us, maybe? Choose us out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's not what she wrote, but she chooses out in her wedding speech.
Oh.
Next big thing was we were 5 minutes late to get dinner with them, and she was pissed off and told us to leave. Our son doesn't do anything about it. Oh, well, then he's complicit in this nonsense. Today we were supposed to meet them so that we can drive to the airport. We started calling them 15 minutes into them being late. No answer. They were an hour late when they got to the spot. I told them I can't drive them anywhere since I need to get to my club and go Uber. Whatever. This ended up in an argument.
Oh, have them Uber to wherever the airport. Yeah,
this lady needs to type better. This ended up in an argument, and I called her a hypocrite. I left after they left after I drove away, and my son is calling me an asshole, and I need to apologize. Nope. I'm sorry, but if every time you had, even when if you're late constantly, then I think you are not prioritizing other people's time or your own time,
Agreed.
and you need to figure your shit out. But there are extenuating circumstances. You're on your way there. There's a big crash. What are you going to do?
Agreed.
I'm going to say, one of my pet peeves is being late to pick up my children. Because I know what it felt like as a child to have someone pick me up late, and it made me feel like I took it personally.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was all the time. It wasn't like one time.
Yeah.
And oh my God, this thing happened. I'm so sorry I'm late. But when I one day was coming home and I got behind an accident on the road and I was late picking up my child. I felt horrible. She felt horrible. But, we talked about it and it was like, yeah, I understand. Well, if this girl is put this hard, fast limit, you can never be late or I won't let you in my house. I will leave without you. I will do whatever. And too bad for you. Then how would it not apply to her as well?
I know, and so now you're the asshole because you waited for them.
And they waited an hour.
An hour. Yeah.
I wouldn't wait an hour.
Let me tell you, being somebody who's neurospicy, being somebody who has ADHD, which is in the same realm as autism, which is half of our fucking family.
Yeah.
You set boundaries. You have things. I get it. You have sensory issues. Your brain processes things differently. I understand it. And if you know those things about you, great. And if you inform people in your life about it, great. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Don't fucking weaponize your neurodivergence to get people to follow your boundaries. Because the hard and fast rule of being late, sure, right. But that to blow up over, handle it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
To lose your mind on your in-laws or your parents or whoever because they're late by 5 minutes is obscene and stupid to me. It just seems like a non-issue. Again, I get it. You're neurodivergent. But maybe let's work on coping skills, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then for you to do the same fucking thing and then act like your mother-in-law should still take you to wherever, the airport, wherever you're going, and you are an hour late, how is she the bad guy when she's like, I can't take you, and leaves you? How is she the bad guy? I just feel like you have set this whole relationship with these standards, and you've bitched at her for breaking them, and now you broke it.
Yeah. Well, this is a classic case of you made your own bed,
bitch. You lay in it. Yeah. Agreed.
All right, why don't you read one more quick one and we'll be out of here.
We'll get that fat guy.
A few minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. Yes. Prank or... Sorry.
It's alright.
Oh, yeah, this one will be great.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for shouting at my sister because she took my car and refused to come back? Already no.
No. I don't even know the incidents about it, but I say no.
Yeah, right. I, male 25, had a really important match to attend today's evening. And all my gears and my shoes, clothes, pads, bat, gloves, or basically whole kit was in my car. My sister, who's 28, had gone to my elder sister, 30, who went to her house for the last 2 days. I asked her mother when she's coming back, and she told me today in the morning. But she didn't come in the morning. But she didn't come. So in the morning, when she didn't arrive, I asked my mom again when she would come, and she told me by 4 p.m. I said, okay, and then I started doing my office work. Then I went to the gym, and I came back around 6, thinking that she'd be home, as I needed to leave in an hour or so. But when I got back, my car still wasn't there. I lost my temper completely. I called my sister to ask what's the matter and why haven't you came back yet. She told me she's not coming. I told her I have an important match and my kit is in the car and I need it urgently. she said, "You manage, I'm not coming," and hung up on me. Ooh, bitch. I then called her several times, but she didn't pick up. I then called my elder sister and asked her to let me talk with her, so she gave her the phone and completely shouted at her that I would never let her touch my car again, and a lot of things I shouldn't have said at the time. And I shouted at my mother, too, for passing me false information and keep giving me false hope. I said a lot of words that maybe I shouldn't have said, and I created a scene at home. Now my sister came to know about this, that I'm creating a scene at home. Okay, so his sister found out that he was creating a scene at home and shouting, so now she's coming back and crying. Maybe I spoiled her night too. Now I'm waiting for her, but it's already too late. I won't be able to make my match, and I'm probably fucked because I'll be getting kicked off the team. I thought of informing my sister that now you coming back will make no difference. Just stay there, but she probably won't listen now. Now I'm fully aware that everyone at home is going to abandon me for some days. I don't think you're an asshole. I think your sister's a fucking selfish bitch.
I'm sorry, but I would have just been like, you bring my car now, or I'm going to report it stolen.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because I have something to do. You borrowed my car.
You told me, yeah.
And you should have been back by now. I was told you'd be back by now.
Yeah.
And if you can't be back by now, that's not my problem.
No.
You shouldn't have borrowed my car.
And if you are not back by this point, the car will be reported stolen, and have fun explaining that.
Yeah, and I'll be like, it's stolen, and here's where it is. Can you,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, fuck that. Your sister's a little crybaby bitch. And also, don't borrow people's shit if you can't take it back when they say they need it back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
If you can't be responsible, don't do it.
Yeah, like...
And I wouldn't loan you my car to begin with.
Well,
but I certainly wouldn't do it ever again if I did, and you misused that time, or you...
No.
Yeah.
And I don't blame this man for losing his temper.
Yeah.
I don't blame this man for getting on his mom too, being like, why would you tell me this? Like, why would you tell me a certain time when she's not here? And hours later, then she's like, I'm coming home and I'm crying because you yelled at everybody.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry you have your weapon. You've weaponized your white tears, but no one cares.
So sad. Yeah,
I'm sorry that you're crying because you were in the wrong.
Exactly.
And you got yelled at for being in the wrong, and you chose this.
Yes. And you know what's funny is I realized that a lot of the people who are not in the wrong are being accused of being in the wrong.
Absolutely.
Like, this boy is like, well, now there's drama at home and no one's going to talk to me.
But let's talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
He said he's not going to be able to go to his match. Whatever, I don't know what kind of match
I think baseball probably.
Okay.
Game.
He's going to get kicked off the team.
Yeah.
All because you were a selfish bitch and wouldn't bring his car back.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you were like, I'm so sorry, I'm in the hospital, I can't bring your car back, you're going to just take an Uber over and get it.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. But it's like, if you're just sitting at your sister's house, hanging out, having a good time, whatever,
get home.
That's not an excuse.
No, ma'am. I'm with you.
Unless you were like, I'm sorry, I've been drinking, I will pay for you to have an Uber bring you here.
Right.
Because that's what I would do if I couldn't
me off.
drive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that
but
would
if
also
like
make
I'm
me
like,
enraged.
but I would also let you know early enough in the day, or I would bring it over before I got drunk.
Because we're responsible.
Because I'm responsible.
Yeah. Irritated.
I'm responsible, so I'm going to get drunk responsibly.
Yeah, well, that's how you should do it. Drink responsibly.
Yes. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
All
Next
right.
week we'll have a different topic. We won't keep doing Am I the Asshole?
Although it is fun.
It is lots of fun. Maybe we can do like one or two at an episode.
All right.
I love that. Our new segment. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole?
Usually.
Probably. Although none of these people today are the asshole.
They were all great. I loved all of them.
Yeah, they're my new best friends.
Besties, love it.
But that does indeed bring us to the end of our episode.
Yeah,
and I hope you all had fun listening. And if you didn't,
fuck off.
Too bad. You are the asshole.
You are the asshole.
But, go to any podcasting app and you can find us there. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Send us an email if you would like at itwouldseemasthough@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you can find us every Wednesday at 1 o'clock is when we come out.
Lucky you.
So subscribe and it'll directly come to you. You don't even have to look for it.
I love that. All right, I'm leaving.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I love you. Bye.
I know, you gotta go put on some makeup.
Girl, I gotta go look like a person.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
It would seem as though...